If you imagine yourself with only one leg, let's say for some reason that you lost your leg. I know you don't just lose a leg like that, but if it was removed by a surgery or because of an accident or some illness or something like that, would you give up or would you fight to try to have a normal life as possible? Try listen to my story. And with that being said, it's not sure that what worked for me would work for somebody else because we are so different people. So it's not sure, but I would try to motivate or maybe even inspire someone that is in my position to not give up and keep on and see that everything is possible if you just keep on going for your dreams and your goals. It can happen. You need to believe yourself, and if you believe yourself, I think you can do it. So if I can help maybe one or two people in a situation like mine, it would be like my mission is complete. Mission accomplished. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry for that. It kind of slipped away in a minute. So, but and just make sure that you never give up. Keep on believing yourself and go for any dreams you have. And don't if you're disabled or if you have any diagnosis or something like that, don't let that stop you. Just go for it. If it's possible that if the law say you can do it or something like that, of course, then you should actually go for it because that is what I did and it paid off very good. I had to say that, but I will tell you more about that later. So, but um, by the way, my name is Rolf Dalby. I'm a retired chief officer, and I kind of like just want to give you my story so that people, also for people that don't know how it is to be disabled or anything like that, maybe for them to look inside how our life is. So that would be nice if people could do that because I think there's so many people that don't understand the thing that we are going through, and I don't want anyone to have sympathy of me or something like that. No, no, no. That's not the case. But it's important that other people also understand that when you have things like this, if you have illness or are sick or you're disabled or something like that, you're not only fighting with these things in your life or in your health like that or in your body and whatever, you also have to fight the system all the time. It's kind of like you need to do everything to make sure that you don't just cheat or you don't just lie about it or anything else. You have to prove everything that it is the way it is. So that is when that being said again, it's kind of it's hard on you. You get tired. You feel like you want to give up so many times. But that's my point is that always look at the bright side of life. I think it was from Life of Brian. Always look at the bright side of life because where there is a will, there is a way. So, and if you're only letting the all the negative things take control over your life, you will not go anywhere. You will just be nothing, and you will have no joy in your life or something like that, so find always find the positive in your life, no matter how dark the clouds are and how impossible things look like. Just look at the bright side of life and see that there is something good. No matter what, you can find it, I guarantee you that. So but my story goes back to 2014, where I have an accident in my home. And I think I believed I was a Superman, so yeah, I could do everything myself, but sometimes you really need some help for doing things. But I'm not like that, so but I had to pay a big price for that. So I had this huge plate slip down over my foot, and it crossed my pinky toe. So they had to amputate that. So it kind of like a simple thing. You can live without it. It's no problem. You can walk normal. And there's no problem in that. The thing here was that it kind of like got infected. So it was. I think it was maybe 3-4 months later. It was so infected, and I was not aware of that. So it has spread in my whole foot. So I was at the hospital, and they could see, oh my God, this is not good. So they started, I was at the hospital for 45 days or something like that. And I was having, I think it was 10 or 11 surgeries, where they kind of like the salami way, you just take a little piece of the foot to see if they get to into the fresh part where there were no infections. And every time they did it and thought, no, now they are there, we are in having control, then it's kind of like still some part of it was infected in longer way in. So they kind of, I had only a little part of my foot left when it was over. So that's no problem again, because you have footwear you make specialized for it, so you can wear shoes and stuff like that, so and I started back on work, and everything seems fine. But when you get some of you have 2 feet to distribute your weight of your body. So if you kind of take one of the feet and make it half, only that pressure your body is getting down when you walk and stuff like that is kind of going to this little part of the foot. So I was having so many problems with it, and it was kind of like I was on and off. I worked as a bus driver in this time here, so but then I was at work, and then maybe for sometimes 2 weeks it was okay, 3 weeks, or maybe there was a part where it went actually for 2 months where it was okay. But I always ended back on the hospital, and they had to do some new things. They made new surgeries or something like that. And also there were parts of my life where I was in a wheelchair, or I was walking with crutches, and it was very my life became so unmotivated, and I was so close of giving up. So I finally, after a couple of years like that, decided to get amputated. So they took my left leg from under my knee, and I was going to have a prosthetic instead. But anyway, in my mind, it was the goal on being able to walk again, just a little bit, almost like normal. So I did make that choice. It was my own choice. I said, "Oh no, now we're gonna stop it. There's no more of all this other stuff and trying test and see what can we do." So I made it clearly that I want them to amputate my leg. Uh, but I was not prepared for what was coming after that. There is so many things uh, getting affected by when you do that, especially in my case here. And I will tell you more about that in a second. So, in November 2018, I was leg amputated, and in January 2019, I got my prosthesis, so I could walk again. Oh, yeah, I was at my orthopedic technicians. It's a very good team I have behind me there, and the way they make it was, that took time, and that today it is easy, but back then it was a job that took at least those two months. And I came out there the day I should have it and wear it, and I took it on, and uh, my orthopedic technician, he turned around and was doing some paperwork and stuff like that, and I just stood up and I walked around, and I could feel that there was something wrong. That was he kind of frozen in. He turned around and looked at me, and I looked at him like, "Oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? Did I do something wrong?" And he was very shocked, and he said, "Oh my God, you're walking." I said, "Yeah, wasn't that the plan about having a prosthetic, something like that? That is for me to walk." "Yeah, but you can't do that just like that." I said, "How? Why?" And he said, "No, normally when people get a new prosthetic, they kind of crawl across the floor and find something to grab on to get up and stand." "Yeah, you did not do that." I was, "Oh, I'm sorry. You could have told me. I would have done that if that's the way it should be done." It's like, no, 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 no. But I was so anxious just to walk, so I kind of like the first second I just felt that my leg was in it. I stand up and I was walking around feeling so happy. It was just a moment, where you saw, oh my God, why did we not do that many years ago? But yeah, that was the first thing about it. And then later on, in my rehab, and rehabilitation for testing it and learning to walk normally and do things like that, he was kind of standing there, and then he said to me, "Yeah, now walk." And I said, kind of, then it was me freezing up. What? Run. And I said, "How?" "Yeah, run like you do." I said, "Hey, dude, listen to me. I did not run when I had two legs. Why the F should I run now when I only have one?" And then he started laughing. Yeah, okay, he could get the point of that, So, but anyway, the foot I have is not meant for running. It is a good foot I have now. That I just got a new one last year. So, but the first one I have, it felt like it was a wooden plate you were walking around, So from the old days with the pirates, it's something like, no, of course it was not like that, but it is only made for walking. It's not made for being athletic or running or something like that. So, but yeah, it took some time to learn to walk normally, also balance and stuff like that, but it was okay. I did a lot of training and walked very, very, very much in the days after that, just to get used to it, and starting a new life as I was coming to. So that was a good part of it. And then as a shock, I thought that I was just preparing myself to go back driving bus. But you see, in Denmark, it's not allowed to drive a bus when you're having only one leg. And I had my company in, because all the buses we were driving were with automatic transmission, so I did not need my left leg in that way. But they said, oh, if there is an emergency and stuff like that, So I was kind of like, in my age, what to do now. So I did not know anything. I've always been so happy about driving buses, because you meet so many people every day, and I love that to give a service for them and make sure that they came from A to B in a good, safe, and comfortable way. And all the talks you have with passengers and stuff like that. So it was kind of something that, and I'd been doing that for so many years, over 10 years I've been driving. So you can't just stop and say what to do now. Yeah, no. But I had to figure out something to do. So it came to my mind, in Denmark we have so many small ferries crossing fjords and to islands, sail to islands and something like that. So I was thinking, and in my early days as a young, after school, I was educated as a naval seaman. So, and my dream at that time was to become a navigator. And so it crossed my mind, yeah, maybe it was now that I should go for it and become a navigator, because when you're a navigator, you don't have to do all the physic hard works on the deck or something like that. No, no, no. You were in the wheelhouse. You have control of the ferry and stuff like that. So maybe it was time to see if I could do that. So I had to try and test it to see if it was possible for me to become a navigator with only one leg. So also going back to school in my age was maybe not the smartest thing for me, but I managed, and I got this goal in myself that if I was allowed to do it, I would do it. So I went to the doctor, and he was testing me from A to B and C, and I had to do so many things. And he said there will maybe be some limitation for you, what you can do and not do, and what you can sail and stuff like that. But when we were finished, I think I was there for maybe half an hour or something like that. He said to me, you know what? I really cannot put any limitations on you, because you can do exactly the same thing as anyone else. So I got my health certificates, and I was able to start a navigation school. So I did that, and it would take 1.5 years, and then I was ready to go out sail. But even that, going back to school, and still it was 6 months after I got my prosthetics, so it was some kind of a project I was throwing out I did it myself. It was my own decision to do that, so I cannot blame anyone, and I don't want to do that, of course. But so I was at the school, and I did not have anything where I could sneak upon, or they were looking there to me so I could get a little bit easier, anything like that. No, all the physics stuff we did, both we had to go train in a pool where we have survival kits on, and go to the life raft and stuff like that. Also, you need to be a fire officer, so you can control fire and stuff like that. And there were no way that I had an easier way than the other. I did it on the same terms as they were there. So, and I even got the certificate from there saying that they choose me as the best team player on the school, because even with my own things I was dealing with, I always had time to help my classmates. And I had the time. Many of them started on the school there, were not from the sailing business before, or they have not been out sailing in any ships or anything like that, so they just were so new and green to it. And I sailed for almost 10 years in my young days, so I knew a lot about sailing and ships and stuff like that, so it was good that I could bring something for them too. uh, so I really got, after all these years, I got my childhood dream come true. And in December 2020, I was able to sail as a chief officer. And I got a job very fast. So, actually, already in January, I was contacted by a ship company, and they asked me if I wanted to start. They're coming with a brand new ferry that will be in Denmark. I think it was at March we had to start it there. So, yeah, I did it. I really did it. Even that my company, when I was at the job interview and stuff like that, they said, "Oh my God, you are the man for this." And I said, "Yeah, but you need to know I am leg amputee." So, and they said, "Yeah, and so what?" So they kind of was so helpful all the way and accepting things like that. They did not see anything wrong with that. So um, that was kind of cool, and that was a victory for me, a huge victory for me. I was so proud of it that I finally managed to get there. So, and I did. I really did. And that things did not work out the way I planned it. It's a whole different story I can tell you about in another video. But I'm be back. Hey, don't mind that guy. That is what normal people call a diploma, not a certificate. Sorry, Mr. Wise Guy. None of this could have happened for me if I did not have the support I have. I think that's the most important thing for me, and I guess it would be for anyone, is to have a support, that someone is there backing you up in everything you want to do, and they say, go for it, and they're cheering you and stuff like that. It was from my family. They were very good at it. My friends was. And of course, also when I got the job I got, I had the company was very, my colleagues I got, they were so supportive for me. And I don't think I could have done it. Also, my team, my orthopedic technicians team, they are the world's best. I could not imagine if they had not been there. I don't think I would have been able to get this far as I am now. So, but it's also motivating you when you feel like someone is cheering for you and helping you and support you in any way. It gets yourself motivated to want it even more, and you want to do every time a door close, you I just open a new one and jump for it and went for it and try this new adventure, and seeing things what is possible instead of having limitations in your life. That's the way I see things, So always try, as I said before, aim for your goals and find your dreams and fulfill them. My God, you have only one life, so why waste it on? I could have sit down and just being angry about this, but would that have helped me? I don't think so. I really don't think it would have helped me in any way. So it's kind of like, if you see that so many things is possible, no matter what your problems are, that you can go for it anyway and you can succeed with it, then it's motivating inside yourself to see, I want more, I can do more. And I always did that. I always try to take the next step to move on, and, as I say, to see the positive things in life instead of finding the negative. I could have sat down just giving up, I cry, but it would not bring my leg back. I haven't heard that it helped for it, so I guess it wouldn't have helped for me either. So you have to get the best out of life that you can get from, no matter what. So I really did. But the best thing is the support I have. Of course, that's the most important thing. The support I have is, I'm so grateful for that. And I really want to thank everyone that's been involved in this on my side and cheered for me and stuff like that. I am so thankful for that. That it means everything. So if you have that support, and they have your back, I think you can walk on water if you want to, or maybe not. But you know what I mean, But so that is so much what has kept me not giving up and keep on fighting. So yeah, Seymour. So every time you reach the top of the mountain and you fall down, you have to try and get to the top again. So that I think that's for everyone. It's like that. It's not only if you're going through crisis or something like that. No, I think everybody is in that situation, that they will reach the top and then fall down, and then you have to go back up. If you get kicked off the horse, you need to get back on the horseback and try riding again. Don't be scared of it. You can do it. So, and also, if you get kicked when you're laying down, you need to stand up. You need to get up again. And maybe you'll be kicked down one more time, and maybe you will fall down from the mountaintop. You always have to get back on the top. Um, I'm the same person as before I was amputee, but sometimes I really think that people see me in a different way, but I am the same person. My mind is the same. My visions are the same and stuff like that. It's only that I miss one leg. So, but it would be nice if you were treated just like the way you were before. Of course, my closest one, they treat me the same way they always did. So, but in your surroundings and stuff like that, it's kind of like you become a different person because something has happened to you, even that you still are the same person. So, I think you have the right to live the same life as you had before. That's my point of view. No, you should have the same right to do whatever you want. And of course, there should be a system that helps you with that. But it's not always like that. It's not always the way you do it. Uh, but again, as I say, it's fighting and fighting and fighting, both with your things you're dealing with your health, but also fighting the systems always. So, but you have to find the positive in things and grab, even if it's small things that are positive, go for that, because there are so many other negative things. And you get drained by it, and you get tired, and then it will force you to give up. So, but don't give up, go for it. I believe you can do it, I really do. If you have the will, there is a way, and I know you can do it. Look at me, look at me. If I can do it, so can you. No, there's no doubt about that, because I'm not the sharpest knife in the world. No, 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 no. I, but I did it, and I'm still doing it. So I really think you can do it too. The other thing is, there's after all this thing with my being disabled and stuff like that, there were some other things that came to my life and changed my story very much afterward. But that was that. I will tell that in another video. I think this is getting too long anyway. I'm talking too much. That's the problem with me. I talk too much. But I got hit like Murphy's Law. Yeah. In less than 1 year, I was having a stroke in my brain. I got divorced after 15 years of marriage, and they found out that I've had a blood clot in my heart. So, and all that within a year. So you can, and I'm amputee also. So, can you imagine? That's kind of that's a tough one to go through, but I managed to survive. I ran away from Mr. Mayhem, so, and only with 1.5 legs. So that I think that's a pretty good thing. I have to believe in myself that it was not my time, because the two other things could have killed me. I could have died of it, but I did not, and I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still smiling. I'm still having a life. So, but I tricked that guy. Yeah, I tricked him. I tricked him good. So that's kind of like, I think there's sometimes more to life than you can imagine. I maybe believe a little bit more now after that, because I think that's a normal way of reaction you have. And I'm more thankful for things. I don't take anything for granted in my life anymore, because you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Um so, but anyway, I want to thank you for watching this video, and please, if you want to subscribe, do that. If you want to like this video, do that. Even that I talk a lot, and I know sometimes it's blabbling, but it's kind of like, I hope I motivate you. So, and if you want to share it, you can do that too. So, and I will make more videos in the future like this, telling more of my story, and I will get better for it, because I know now, sitting here talking to a camera, that is a little bit different than when you're out. Maybe when I do lectures, you're sitting watching at people listen at you. This is a different thing, but I hope I will get better. So, and if you have any questions, if you have any comments, you can do that too. And if I can help you in any way, if there's something you want to know more about, Then also you can visit my website or webpage. Sorry. So it's all in my info about me on this YouTube channel. So you can just go for it and don't hold back. I do not bite or anything, and if I can help you in any way, I would gladly do that. So, anyway, stay safe, all of you, and take good care, and see you soon.